All right. Sorry, it just gets me every single time. Okay, so this is from College Board, and yeah, we can skip through all this and just go straight to the multiple choice. Okay. So ideally, I think it's 55 minutes for 80 minutes for 55 questions. So that's quite a bit of time, but we'll go through it quickly today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it says registered voters in the US following political figures on social media. Which of the following statements is reflected in the data in the chart? Those who are younger are more likely to be registered to vote than those who are older. This doesn't talk about registered voters, right? It talks about social media users. Among registered voters, there was a steep increase in social media usage to follow political figures across all age groups and party affiliations. Among registered voters.
I don't think there doesn't look like there's a steep increase.
I mean, I think so, right? Because 2010 to 2014, there was an increase.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, so we can like.
I think it's B then. Registered voters in the 65 plus did not increase their use of social media.
No, they all went up, right? So.
It did go up, so that's not true. Of the following, of those using social networking sites, those registered are just Republican were more likely to vote than. Once again, this doesn't have to do with those who are registered to vote. It has to do with percentage of registered voters using social media, right? So B?
Yeah.
Okay, let's check. Yes, it is B.
Cool.
Number 2, which of the following is a potential consequence of the trend illustrated in the bar chart? Social media has led to more candidates running as independents rather than members of political parties.
I don't think that's one of them. Yeah.
Elected officials and candidates running for office are increasingly using social media to reach out to voters. I mean, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
They use more social media.
Keep that one in mind, but like, don't choose that. Yeah.
Social networking sites such as Facebook or Twitter have been overrun with political content.
Not necessarily
true. Exactly.
Yeah.
Increased political polarization could be true, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, I think B is the better answer.
I think
right?
B also makes B makes
okay.
the most sense.
Let's see. Yes, good. Okay.
Cool.
Number 3. Oh, another chart. Interesting. I think we looked at a chart similar to this one in class, right?
I think we did. Yeah. I think we looked at this exact same chart for like a do now. I think.
Okay. Which of the following describes a trend in the line graph above? Voter turnout in so this is midterm and then this is presidential. Voter turnout in midterm elections increased substantially between 1982 and 2010. Not really.
It decreases, so we can take that one off.
Voter turnout in presidential elections generally increased between 1940 and 48. This is 40. It decreased, right, in presidential elections, so that's not true. It generally decreased in midterm elections from 1966 to 2014. 1966 to 2014.
Yeah. I think we did this question. I feel like I remember.
Oh, we did.
We did it in a do now, I think.
I think that's C then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be D.
Cool.
Okay. Which of the following is an accurate conclusion based on comparison of the trends in the line graph and your knowledge of voter behavior? More citizens vote in presidential elections because more citizens are no. More media coverage, maybe. This one's factually not true because more citizens don't vote in midterm. More citizens vote.
Has to be B then.
Yeah. So it has to be B.
Yeah. Yes. Good. Okay. 5 and 6. Where do bureaucrats work?
Another graph.
Yes, another graph.
Wow, so there are like a lot of graph-heavy questions on the AP.
I think they're like organized in sections. So you have like all the graph ones first, I think, and then you have like the ones with the tables. You know, the answer choices with the tables.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're like then there's like ones where you have to read the passages and stuff.
Yeah, I was concerned. Like 3 straight questions that like had to do with graphs. I was like, that I've never seen that before.
Which of the following accurately describes information presented in the pie chart? Okay. Legislative, judicial, and executive branches employ more bureaucrats than the Department of Veterans Affairs. No, that's not true. That's legislative. Yeah, no. Number of federal employees working in DC outnumbers those. This has nothing to do with DC and states. Yeah. Congress has allocated more money to the DHS than DOD.
Something about money.
It doesn't have anything about money.
Yeah. US PS has largest number of employees.
Has
That
to be
true?
D then, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
I did not know that. That's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
D.
That's the mail.
Yep. Sometimes we don't realize how large of an operation the mail is. Which of the following explains the difference in the number of bureaucrats employed by DO? I don't know what the abbreviation for this is. Department of Education and DHS. Department of Government.
I don't think so. I think the Department of Education was one of the original ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because DHS was created very recently after 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they created Homeland Security after what was it called?
This doesn't make
9/11.
sense.
I think it's C, right? Because remember, education is one of those implied. What is it? No, reserved powers. Sorry, it's one of those reserved powers, right? So education.
Right.
So it would be a state issue, I guess, and then security
yeah.
would be. So that C, I think, is the answer then, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Homeland Security is national, so yeah, I think so.
Yes, it is C.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. Numero 7. Okay. Okay, so this is defense spending and this is entitlement spending. Okay. Which of the following is an accurate statement? Defense spending has been consistently a larger part of the federal budget. No, defense spending has been decreasing. Entitlement spending has steadily become a larger portion of the federal budget. That makes sense, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Defense spending increase. Well, no, it's
It
decreasing.
was decreasing, yeah.
2000 entitlement spending
Passed it way before that.
Way before. So B.
Yep.
Okay. Good. Okay. Number 8. Based on the information in the line graph, which of the following is the most likely implication of entitlement and defense spending? Changes in entitlement spending put pressure on discretionary spending. What is discretionary spending?
I don't know.
Is that like?
I think it's like spending. I think it's like usage of funds by like states, like at their discretion, so like what they think
okay.
to be.
Or would that be Congress, or like Congress's discretion? Oh, okay. No. Entitlement spending is money that people are entitled to, and thus they don't have an option. Like people, like the government has to pay them. Like Social Security, like once you've paid for Social Security, you have to get, like, the government is forced to pay you back. I'm pretty sure it's called. That's why it's an entitlement program. But discretionary spending is something they can use to their discretion. So that's why that one is. Yeah, A doesn't. Discretionary spending levels are set by law. No, they can be changed. That's why they're discretionary, right? Because they can. Yeah. They're up to their discretion, right?
Congressional budget is make more. I don't think that's
no.
Either.
Democrats and Republicans generally agree on increasing entitlement spending. Wait, wouldn't it be A then? Because military spending is discretionary, right? Or defense spending is discretionary. So entitlement spending, as that increases, it puts pressure on
discretionary.
That's what I would think. It's either A or D. I think they both agree on entitlement spending, so I'm not sure.
I think I would go with A, only because like Democrats and Republicans rarely agree on things. So like that's the only thing I would like.
Yeah, A then.
Yeah, probably.
No, they do. I think they do agree on entitlement spending. But I think the better answer is A. Yeah. I think Democrats agree more on entitlement spending, but I think they still have both have a little bit of support, I think, when it comes to things like Social Security. Anywho.
Oh, we did this one.
Okay. There's a lot, I think, that because I think these were the released ones, so I think that she's taking it.
The Republican Party.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the Republican Party. This is
D.
a common sense question.
This is D, yeah. Because 270, right? You have to get to 270 to win. Okay.
The electors started voting today.
Yes, they are. Which is interesting. Which of the following statements is true about the Electoral College? It can work against the principle. Yeah, I think that's
okay.
Right? That makes sense. We can look through the other ones.
Oh, we did this one. We did this one too. I remember.
Did this one?
Yeah. It's A.
Yeah, it would be A because we can see that
independent and green is
the popular vote wise, the Democratic Party candidate should have won
Yes.
because they received a plurality of the votes. Okay. Likely a majority as well. Okay. Okay.
Is this the one here?
Uh-huh.
Wait, which test? From 2018?
Yes, this is from 2018.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
This is from Federalist 84, which had to do with what? Civil liberties? That's what it looks like. Oh, it talks about the Bill of Rights.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
How
I need to
it's
go over that.
okay.
Like what each of them talk about.
It forms a Bill of Rights. Is there not only unnecessary, it would be dangerous. So we I don't think we need to read the whole thing. I think we know the gist of it, right? Even which of the following statements best describes Hamilton's argument? Even though civil liberties are protected, he doesn't think that they're protected. He thinks that
they're
yeah,
threatened. Honestly.
they're threatened. Listing rights will lead to assume. I think that's the right answer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Freedom of the press. A Bill of
Federalists
Rights.
were against the Bill of Rights. Anti-Federalists were for the Bill of Rights, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Sometimes
think
I
it's
get
B.
that confused and I messed up.
Okay. So this would be B. I think. Let's check. 11 is B. Yep. Which of the following constitutional provisions limits the power of the national government? Enumerated powers. I think that's the answer, but we can check. Because enumerated powers are like explicitly say what they can do. Supremacy clause doesn't. Supremacy clause gives more power. Judicial review gives more power, and judicial review isn't even in Article 3. So, faithful execution of the laws, that kind of gives more power. That's like the elastic clause for the president, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's like necessary and no. I mean, it was the what's it called? What was it called again? It was like
Commerce clause? Question mark.
no, the thing about the president. What was like the exact like phrase? It was like
do all things needed or something. I don't even know. I can't remember.
yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Again,
Okay, I think this is A.
Like
also
like
judicial
all things that are
review.
necessary and proper, like the necessary and proper clause or something. I don't remember.
No, there's like a elastic clause version for the president in Article 2.
Okay.
Yeah, which basically kind of that's what he uses for not pardons. Pardons is an official power, and an informal power is executive orders and things like that.
Also, judicial review. Marbury versus Madison.
Yes, Marbury v. Madison. Exactly. Supporters of Hamilton's view that a Bill of Rights could be dangerous to liberty could point to which of the following cases? I think it would be Schenck v. U.S., right? Because they gave more power to the U.S. government and it abridged civil liberties. In Engel v. Vitale, that
was the school prayer one.
Yeah, that was the school prayer one, and it sided with the
person.
Yes, person who's
Yeah.
Engel. It sided with
Like,
Engel.
yeah.
New
It
York
was like
Times
school prayers, so that was like freedom of religion.
Yeah.
This one is
NYT
They won.
company versus US NYT
then
one. This had to do with what was
freedom
it?
of the press.
Yeah, prior restraint or something, right?
Oh yeah, prior restraint. Yeah.
And Tinker v.
the
Des
armband
Moines
one.
all sided with Tinker, so it would be Schenck, I think.
What was Tinker Des Moines again?
The armband.
That had to do
one.
with armbands, symbolic speech.
Oh, the armbands, right? Okay.
Okay.
I need to go over these
Yeah.
court cases.
Yeah, there are a
Based-
lot of them.
Yes, based
Yeah.
on the text, which of the following statements would the author most likely agree with? U.S. Constitution explicitly prohibits the government. Maybe, but
Okay, B is
the amendment process would no.
No.
the Bill of Rights
think-
could potentially be used to limit civil liberties.
Technically, yes, because that's kind of what Hamilton is.
That's what
arguing.
Hamilton's saying. So likely,
Yeah.
that's the answer. Media ought to be held accountable. No.
I think it's C. C is
yeah.
A and
Yeah,
C,
C is
but
the
like
best.
C is more
The
directly.
better answer.
Back in the day when ponies were how news was carried across from one end of the country to the other.
Media ought to be held accountable.
Okay. Wait, we did this question on a recent
I think
test.
this was the one from
Milton Friedman. And
Oh,
honestly, if you know
yeah.
about Milton Friedman, Milton Friedman is actually a very prominent scholar. So if you knew, like most people, like he's a very outspoken libertarian. So if you knew that, you wouldn't even have to read this. So he's big about liberty before equality, and he thinks
I
that
just literally I saw the words like freedom and I was like, this is libertarian.
yeah, libertarian. Yep. So I mean, I think we answered this question in our test
Okay,
as well.
yeah.
16 is obviously C.
15 was C, right?
B, yeah, because
Okay.
libertarians think that if you get rid of freedom, then
There's no equality.
equality or freedom. So C and then C. Let's see. C. Let's see. Okay. Good. Okay.
Cool.
All right. 17. Which of the following governmental policies would the author most likely support? Restricting, no. Anywhere where you're restricting individuals is no. Requiring, no. Establishing minimum age, no. Allowing individuals,
D.
yes. Although I don't know if Milton Friedman himself would support that, but
Yeah.
okay. Oh, I remember this.
Good old gerrymandering.
Yes, gerrymandering, the salamander. Albert Jerry. Okay. Which of the following statements best explains the motivation behind the way it's drawn? To group together. No, you're not. When you're gerrymandering, you're not going to group together.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Cooperate. No, this is too positive. Fair election. That's funny. Okay. It has been drawn together to group together diverse. No, this wouldn't be competitive. This would give them a clear advantage. Yeah, it's used to pack together voters. D. This was a very funny question, I think.
No one wants a highly competitive election. Anyways.
Which of the following is a consequence of the way it's drawn? Likely to less competitive, which could lead to increased partisanship.
No.
That seems right to me. Because when you pack together voters in that district, when you pack together voters of one party in one district, there's no competition for the other party.
Yeah.
So it's less competitive, and that could lead to increased partisanship because you have one district that's very one way, and then the other districts which is very other.
Oh.
That's my reasoning. But we can read.
Okay, that makes
highly
sense. Highly
contentious and competitive. I don't know if it'll be, but it won't be competitive.
Yeah. It won't be competitive.
Lead to a seat that is occupied third party that has
no.
Nope.
High turnout. I don't see how that has to do. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So A then? Okay.
I was thinking like bipartisanship, and so
okay.
Confused. Okay.
How many questions are there? 55, you said?
Yeah. 55-ish. Yeah. If you need to leave, feel comfortable. Yeah.
This
feel
is good for me.
Oh no, I can stay for like another 10, 15 minutes.
I haven't like really studied yet, but it's good just like getting me
jog your memory. Yeah, this will be good because I'm going to study today too. And
I think it'll be a relatively easy final.
Special interest. Oh, this is a big topic right now.
The Sioux money.
The Sioux money, and that says the Great American Democratic Process. How ironic. Okay.
Dang.
So this is a liberal point of view, right? And this is the liberal point of view is saying that essentially special interest funds should be kept open and people shouldn't be able to special interest fund shouldn't be a thing, and B, it's undermines.
So what is exactly special interest money?
I'm not 100% sure, but it's a lot. It's like huge campaign contributions that are often done like anonymously. Let's search it up.
Okay.
I'd rather than giving people wrong information. Special interest cash. It allows groups to donate more to certain candidates.
Okay.
So like obviously we know how money has an advantage, right?
Yeah.
And this actually has to do with a case called FEC, Citizens United versus FEC. That might have, I think, as soon as I saw Baker versus Carr, I suspected that they were going to ask about that question. So about that case. So I don't think we learned about this one, but this is another one of those required cases. I think she'll go over it in one of those AP review sessions.
Mm-hmm.
But basically in Citizens United v. FEC, what the Supreme Court ruled was that special interest cash was a protected form of free speech. So people can donate more than whatever to candidates. So Republicans support that, Democrats don't. Okay. Which of the following best describes the message? Contributions from undermined. I think that looks like the right answer. Because it's contributions from special interests. So like massive amounts of money have undermined fair and competitive political campaigns.
I think that makes sense.
Placing limits on special interest would not diminish the role of money.
No.
No. Although money garners attention from the media and its voters, it does not influence how people vote. That's not true. Money does influence how people vote because, we've seen the incumbency advantage and how people who have sue money. Special interests have a large amount of cash but a small number of votes. No. I think it's A.
Yeah.
And we said that it was Citizens United v. FEC. Because the other ones don't make sense. These two had to do with elections and gerrymandering and apportionment, and this one had to do with prior restraint.
Wait, hold on, just for clarification.
Yeah.
What was the Baker v. Carr again and Shaw v. Reno? I know they're both like gerrymandering and like.
You're right.
Shaw v. Reno was the gerrymandering one where it was done by like race, and then they were like, this is unfair.
Was that the one in Carolina or something, or like Nashville? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was Carolina.
Baker v. Carr was the one where like Tennessee hadn't like redrawn its lines in like 50 years or something like that. And
this is the one that gave them.
So the rural voters, like their vote held like more weight.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was the principle of one vote, one person, one vote, and this Baker v. Carr gave the Supreme Court kind of the authority to review redistricting cases, and Shaw v. Reno had said, did that rule in favor of the group that gerrymandered or no? I think they said that. Oh no, they ruled against because they said that you can apportion with race in consideration, but race can't be like the primary factor or the only factor. I think. Right. Okay.
Yeah, for Shaw v. Reno, they used the strict scrutiny under the Equal Protection Clause.
Good. So A and B. Let's see.
Antonin Scalia.
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 Yes, Scalia. He's a very
voters without government.
Okay, so 25% of African American voters don't have government issued photo ID, whereas 10% of Americans in general. Based on the opponent of voter ID laws, they're likely to decrease turnout because they're less. That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't know why there's a random parenthesis there, but whatever.
Will likely decrease by 10% if voted.
No. Decrease election fraud. Well, that would be someone who's supporting state voter ID laws, not against state voter ID laws. African American voters who do not have gov issues ideas are likely to participate. That I don't.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. A, I think.
A.
Yes. Okay. Based on the infographic, which of the following strategies would a group seeking to increase turnout likely pursue?
B.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, D and A don't make sense.
D and A don't make sense. It's either B or C, right?
Yeah, but I think
B seems
right.
more doable than C.
It just seems weird, like lobby state legislators to overturn
voter ID legislation.
I think I'm leaning towards B.
But it's based on the infographic though, right? So if it's referring to the infographic and it's asking about like voter IDs in general, then what?
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I don't know. We don't have to be stressed about this. Like we can look and check the answer and let's just see what it is. Okay, so it's C. Yeah. Okay, so if it references the infographic, then I think like rather than using outside knowledge, like try and do it with the. I guess maybe that's the technique. I don't know what they expect sometimes. AP's kind of wild sometimes, as we know. Math, especially. Which of the following important functions of democracy would most likely be more difficult without political parties? Well, reducing gridlock would be very easy without political parties. Educating the public about upcoming elections, that might be a potential answer choice.
Because then it would be like harder to align yourself with like one party or like one kind of statement.
Ensuring that only eligible voters can vote. No.
That doesn't. I feel like it doesn't.
That
I
doesn't
think it's
make
B.
sense.
B
Yeah.
makes the most sense to me. Yeah, because parties can form coalitions, and yes, B. Okay. Which of the following is a consequence of candidate-centered campaigns? Third-party candidates would decrease, not increase.
No.
Parties strengthen their control over candidate fundraising to ensure compliance with regulations. No, I don't think so. Maybe, but probably not.
I don't know what ensure compliance with regulation. That's like
Oh,
really.
that's like with your sue money thing. The sue money thing. Like they need to make sure that they're like meeting contribution limits and that kind of thing, like regulations.
Okay.
Candidates have less accountability for their positions because the importance of the party platform increases. No, because
Less.
it would be. This is the opposite of what it's asking.
Yeah.
I think it's D because
Candidates' ability to appeal to voters.
Because this has to do with candidate-centered campaigns versus
Policy-centered.
Yeah, so it would be D then, I think. Yes. Okay. Which of the following may the president do? I think we've done this problem before. To limit the Supreme Court's power. Yeah, we've done this.
Yeah, it was B, I think,
B,
right?
refuse to enforce a ruling. Yep. Because even though the court has judicial review, the president can simply refuse to enforce it. The legislative process at the national level of government reflects the intent of the framers to create a constitution, to create a legislature. That would be not A. I think it's slow and deliberate in the lawmaking.
Yeah.
I remember this one got a lot of us in the beginning when we took this unit test.
Yeah, I remember that.
Slow and deliberate in this question means like thorough, basically.
Thorough, yes. And,
Yeah.
and also really slow. I mean, as we know,
God,
which is a good
like,
thing. I mean, that it was very
so
intentional. Sometimes it seems like a bad thing because it prevents us from getting stuff done, but it was very intentionally done. Members of the U.S. HOR Committee on Veterans Affairs are concerned about quality of services at hospitals.
Oh, we did this one.
Okay. What can they do? Holding a hearing and subpoena. That looks like it's right, but I don't know. Impounding funding. No, they can't do that because that's the Ways and no, that's the other committee that has to deal with. I can't remember. Appropriations Committee, I think. Referendum in each state, no.
No.
New secretary of no. I think it's A. Because this and D would be done by the president, right? Because secretaries are appointed by the president. This would be A.
I think for the B, for like where it says funding, can that one committee in the House of Representatives and like the Senate, can only that committee like appropriate funds?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like none of the other committees can?
They submit proposals, I'm pretty sure, but like I don't think they can actually do it.
Okay, that makes sense. So was that the answer A?
Yeah, we got that right.
Okay.
It's
okay.
A. Okay.
Cool.
The application of the death penalty has been limited in recent decades and cannot be applied to minors and people, blah, 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 which is the reason. This is not dealing with, this is the 8th Amendment, right?
Yeah, those.
Yeah, so it has to be B.
Right?
You just have to remember the different amendments. So First Amendment, we know. Fourth Amendment has to do with.
Read through all the answer choices. Fifth Amendments. Okay, yeah, it's just. Yeah.
Fifth Amendment has to do with due process. 5, 6, and 7, and 8 has to do with cruel and unusual punishments, right? And then 4 has to do with privacy, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Okay, so B.
And then what is 9 again?
9 has to do with, I think, powers. Just because it's not written here doesn't mean it's not a protected right. And then 10, I think, is reserved. Anything, yes. And
the 9th Amendment is enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So just because it's not written here doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And the Federalists wanted to get, James Madison tried really hard to get that on there because he was, and Alexander, because we saw how Alexander Hamilton was against the Bill of Rights because they thought that it would limit people's liberty. So they wanted to add that clause in there.
All rights not listed in the Constitution belong to the people, not the government. basically.
Oh, and then okay, so the ninth one is all
Okay.
listed are given to the people, and then 10 is like all powers not given to the government. Good. Okay.
Iron triangles. Do you remember this one?
I do not.
Yes.
Iron triangles is between interest groups, bureaucracy, and Congress committees.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, so not
No,
A.
not A. Not B. I think it's C. Because we talked about
Also, the other ones
bureaucracy.
don't make sense.
Yeah, the
because
other
they're
ones
like
don't
to
make sense.
hire, and then it's like to garner public.
Yeah.
There's so
I
much
think it's C.
vocabulary in this.
Yeah.
We'll go over.
See
okay. MG, I gotta go.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
All right. Bye, Aleena. Bye,
right.
MG. Thanks.
Bye.
MG, you're gonna post it on Revis now, right? Like
Revise, the revised on YouTube, yes.
Right.
Okay. All right. Bye. Okay, so C then for this one?
Yeah, C.
Okay.
I remember we did this question as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so she might get some more questions from here.
Yeah. A member of the House of... We should have done this at the very beginning of the year.
Yeah, we should have done this.
Actually, I think it's better practice to do it now then. Yeah. Anyways. Introduced a bill to raise the minimum wage, but has been committee for 36 days, unlikely to make it to the floor. Which of the following is the best course of action for the representative to take to get a vote on the bill? Presenting a cloture? No, that's only in the Senate, right? The cloture.
Cloture.
Cloture has to do with the filibuster. Remember, like if they had a filibuster, they can vote for cloture.
Yeah.
That's
okay. Yeah, that's not happening.
Placing a hold on the bill. That would not get it on the floor. So I don't know why.
Is it C?
I don't think so, because that would make it harder to pass. Because the more you pack onto a legislation, the more people are going to disagree with it.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay. I think it's D.
What is a discharge petition?
A discharge petition, I'm pretty sure, from what I've heard, like just watching Congress once in a while, is I think discharge petition is when they file to discharge it on I'm not sure how it works actually, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with. Go ahead.
A device by which any member of the House, after a committee has had a bill for 30 days, may ask to have it brought to the floor. So yeah, it's
yeah. So it would be D then. Interesting. Okay. I did not know that. So apparently
I didn't know that either.
Okay. Good. So we at least learned that. Sorry. Good. 31. 32, I mean. Which the Supreme Court is most likely to review a case concerning right to privacy. This is the 14th Amendment equal what is it? Equal
protection?
Yes, equal protection. This is Second Amendment, so not right to privacy. High school leaves.
It's D, yeah.
Yeah, it would be D, because abortion has to do with privacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Which of the following describes the difficulty presidents face in the policy implementation process? I think we've done this one as well.
Yeah. I remember, I think I got it wrong the first time.
No, it's not B. It could be A, but unlikely, because I think it could be C.
It is not.
I think it would be C, but I'm not sure.
I remember I really didn't know about this one. Wait, so can the members of the cabinet be removed by Congress? Because if it's not like any time, then.
Sorry, what?
Because you know how like B is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it wrong? Because like.
Oh, because they can't.
Yeah. I'm asking like when can they?
Oh, when can they? I don't think they can. Not to my knowledge. Oh, they would have to be impeached, I guess. Yeah, they would have to be impeached and tried.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess it's C. I think it's C. Let's see.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's C.
Okay.
Basically, they can't carry out their agenda always because of they can't, like, if they disagree with them, they can't fire I think one example of this might be the lame duck President Donald Trump's hostility with Dr. Anthony Fauci. I think that's an example of that.
Oh, interesting.
Because
Okay.
he wouldn't be able to just fire him willy-nilly. He can't do that because of civil service laws. Anyways, okay.
So civil service laws like restrict the president from like firing someone on their like
they can't, yeah, they just because they disagree with them. Like there has to be like a valid justification for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then who like determines what's a valid justification?
If someone needs to go determine that, then that would be the court.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, they're not
wondering.
going to just do it willy-nilly because, the public is going to be outraged. But at the same time, some presidents, not to name names, and we're not going to name names, but we know who we're talking about. Some presidents don't respond to public opinion. So, anyways.
But hasn't like
Mhm.
like at the beginning of like
I see what you're saying. That was it depends on.
Is it their justification that it's like I don't remember what it was. Like, would it be like it better aligns with their like agenda? Like,
yeah, so yeah, it's like kind of like sometimes how people like how bosses fire workers sometimes because or with like bad justifications. It's like, oh, he wasn't, I don't know, like maybe the real reason is because maybe a woman just had a child and they're tending more to the home than to work, and that they need a reason to they need a valid justification to fire the woman. So what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, she hasn't been coming to work lately, or maybe the woman wasn't even at fault, and maybe she just had announced to her boss that she had a baby. So then the boss gets worried that this woman's not going to come and work so out of fear they could do that. So they could like justify it with like something else. But yeah, so you can't. There's no like surefire way to stop this from happening. So, but there are laws, I guess, that exist to protect that. Okay. Based on previous court rulings, which of the following scenarios would most likely violate the Equal Protection Law clause? That has to do with Fourth Amendment, right? Warrants and searches and seizures. Refuses an unpopular group to hold a political rally. Maybe, but not really. Race-based segregation, that's for sure. Yeah, Equal Protection Clause. Because that was stopped with Brown v. Board of Education. Okay. Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act of 1985 authorized the government to deny income tax deductions for employer health plans that did not offer employees the option of keeping their health insurance after leaving the job. Which enumerated power of Congress laws? This has to do with money. So I would say A, probably. Congress can't declare laws unconstitutional.
Yeah.
They can borrow money on the credit of the U.S., but I don't think this has to do with borrowing money.
It's not borrowing money.
Yeah, and it's not D. It's not issuing copyrights and patents, so it's A.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Which of the following actions by public school districts or students would most likely be protected symbolic speech? By Tinker v. Des Moines. Prayers, no. Editorial, no.
Oh, we did this one.
This is the T-shirts, right?
Yeah, T-shirts. I remember.
There's been a lot of these. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is where she gets all the do-nows from.
I see. Which of the following scenarios would most likely be considered a violation of the Fourth Amendment?
It's that's not the Fourth Amendment.
Without being informed of the right to. I think this has to do with Miranda rights, so it could be A.
I think it's
B
C.
I think it's C because it has to do with unreasonable. Yeah, for sure it's C because it has to do with unreasonable searches and seizures. Yeah, the Fourth Amendment. Okay. There's a lot of questions about the Bill of Rights on here.
Yeah, that's true. A new president elected.
Okay.
Political patronage.
It's not A. I think it's B.
Here.
Because his patron, who's not patron, but who's sponsoring him with the high-level campaign funds, the president is giving him a position.
Okay.
I think it's B then, right?
Yeah.
So this would be this is looking beyond partisan politics, so it's not C. And this is like using merit as a justification, so it's not D. So I would say it's B. Yep. Good. Okay.
What?
Oh, we haven't learned about polling yet, but I think we can answer this with our knowledge. C.
In a public opinion poll of a representative sample of a population, 1,200 people were asked to agree, disagree, or express neutrality towards the following statements. Government should spend 35%. Most likely accounts for the different results. The questions were not open-ended.
I think it's D.
It does not make sense. There were no welfare recipients in the sample. We can't just assume that.
Yeah, you can't assume that, exactly.
The sample size was not large enough to be reliable. I mean, 1,200 people is kind of a lot.
That's a pretty decent, yeah.
The questions contained a difference in wording.
I think, yeah, because that's a concept that's a
helping
very
the
big
poor and
critique of
welfare.
polls. Yeah, it's the helping the poor versus welfare.
Yeah.
So it'd be
Okay,
D
yeah.
then.
D.
Yeah, I think that's something we would have learned in the polling, the unit about elections and polling, is because that's like a big
Yeah.
critique of polling is, wording.
I don't think she'll put too much about that because we didn't talk about
Yeah.
it.
Nonprofit advocacy group seeks to block an expensive subsidy to what it believes is an environmentally destructive project. This one accurately describes the free rider problem. The free rider problem has to do with people like riding freely off the back of others. So when someone does the work and basically one person does the work, but everybody reaps the profits.
Okay.
So it would be A then, I think. We can look at the other ones, but I think it's A.
The public will recognize greatly out. Not B. Will be able to carry out activities at an low cost. Accompanying member support. A. Yeah, I think
Yeah, it's A.
It's A.
Yeah, because they would be.
I don't know. That's just like weird to me. Like the public can expect to reap the benefits of blocking. I don't know. It's just weird. Anyways.
Well, that's a common that's a very common problem in both parties, because what happens is a lot of the time you have interest groups who are working for a cause and they're putting their money in and stuff in, but then the laws affect everyone. So what happens is they're putting their resources behind it, but it's so it's some people have a problem with that, essentially. Okay.
Senator Smith.
Gosh, some bills that our constituents care little about. So that looks like a trustee model.
Yeah.
But she votes according to the wishes of her. But then that looks like delegate.
But she votes according to the wishes of the majority of her constituents on other bills. Yeah. I guess if it's majority, then.
Is it delegate or trustee? Then delegate, I guess?
Yeah, I guess.
A.
A.
What is the political model?
What is that?
Hold on. What is the political model?
Legislators should follow their own judgment until the public becomes vocal about a particular matter. That's so weird.
Oh, okay. So here's it.
Never heard of that.
Delegate model is what we learn. Trustee is what we learn. Political is when theorists recognize that representatives rarely consistently act as just a delegate. So it's like a mix of the two. So political is a hybrid. And then mandate. Okay, I don't think we need to know about these two.
Yeah. Okay.
What is majoritarian? Is that even a thing? Model of representation. Is that a thing? I don't think that has to. right, to appoint all the representatives to the majority of the electors, denying representation to minorities. That's not it. Okay. So yeah, it's political model, whatever that is.
Okay.
Recent poll indicates that 60% of all people in the United States support a flat tax system. Which of the following supports the credibility of the poll result? The poll reported a sampling error. Yeah, I guess that would support the credibility, but we don't know. Just because they report a sampling error. Huh?
It didn't. Does it? Like, it doesn't say a sampling.
It doesn't say it in there, so I don't know about that. It was conducted online and open to anyone who wished to participate.
I don't know. Can we just...
Maybe? That's a bad sample size, just because people in there might be a correlation between malls and supporting taxes. People who go to malls and support taxes. And D is fair. No, obviously that's not fair, because you're telling people to think one way.
Yeah.
So it's either B or A. I think it's probably B, because the fact that it's open to anyone is more credible than if you go to a specific location and call. Or I mean,
okay.
It's either B or A. I'm leaning towards B.
Yeah.
No, it's A.
It's A.
42 is A. Okay, that makes sense. Like if you report a sampling error.
Because I guess you could say with like online that it's more unreliable. I don't know.
I think I know the problem. The problem with this one is it's not random. It's only people who wish to participate. So the most reliable polls, I'm pretty sure, are the ones where they have to be neutrally worded. There's a lot of people, and they randomly call people across the country.
Okay, wait. So you said it's a lot of people, random, and
it's not chosen. Like it's not the person's voluntary choice. Like they have a choice not to do it, but it's not like they're coming up and saying, "I want to do this." It's they're being told, "Would you like to do this?"
Instead. Yeah, and wording is like the same. Okay.
Yeah. Which of the following is an accurate?
I like these questions a lot. They're really fun.
Yes. Which is an accurate comparison of federal state?
Okay,
nope. Nope. Maybe no. Yes, maybe. Nope. Large republic, yes, and yes. So D.
Yeah, these tend to be easier. I feel like.
Yeah.
Straightforward.
Good. McCulloch v. Maryland and U.S. v. Lopez. No, it gave it constitutional, so that's not right. Maybe that ruled that state laws were it didn't rule that state laws were supreme to national laws necessarily. But let's see. Increase in power, yes. Establish limits. It's C. Yeah, I think so. Yep, C. Okay. Accurate comparison of constitutional provisions. Necessary and proper clause, yes. 14th Amendment, no. Commerce clause, yes. 10th Amendment does enhance state power. B. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone was ringing. So
no, you're fine.
I'll mute.
What's 17th Amendment? Is that the one that has to do with electing senators?
Yes.
Okay. It's B. We said B, right?
Yes. 17th Amendment is where it was like this. The Senate is like voted. I mean, like the people vote instead of the state.
Yes. House of Representatives and Senate. Okay. D is wrong. Members are elected by local district. I think C is right. But let me check. That's not true. That's not true. I think C. Let me make it bigger. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. I was trying to, like I didn't.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean to. Yeah.
So everyone in the House can propose bills, right?
All the committees. I mean, I don't think randomly someone would just.
Yeah,
be like,
not everyone. I mean, like all
the
committees. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that means it would be C. I think.
Yes. C. Conservative and liberal. We just learned this. Okay. No, they don't want A. Conservatives don't want A.
Okay, B.
They do want this.
They don't want that.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah, no, individuals should not rely.
Yeah, I think it's D.
Yeah, D. I think that's my best. This is my best unit so far. Like the one that's like like
It's very relevant, I think. Like it's very
it's really relevant. So I think that's why I just like easy.
Okay. Which of the following policies is most likely to cause tension between the competing values of individualism and equality of opportunity?
Okay. Expanding defense system.
No.
Oh, we did this one. It was the affirmative
action. Yeah, because affirmative action has to do with individual merit versus opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh, random thought, but I can't stop using the word tension in my writing. Mr. Rudy.
I've literally been doing that in my English final as well.
No, I was doing my director's notebook and I was like, the tension.
No, I did that too. My director's notebook is riddled with that word, honestly. Okay.
Oh gosh. Anyways, I was just thinking about that.
No, honestly, that's so true.
Oh, we did this one too. I remember. This was
likely an inspiration for Birmingham jail letter. This was because there was that letter be open from the clergyman, right? That said that.
Yeah.
What was it? Let's see. Oh, this is. Oh, wait, it's not that question. I think this is a different question.
Oh yeah, I just realized. I think this is a different one.
It's whether all people should be that. I think.
B, right?
Yeah, I think it's B. Yeah, equal protection clause. Okay. B. Good. 50. Which of the following measures would a patient adhering to Keynesian? Sorry, I always say Keynesian, but it's Keynesian economic principles. We haven't learned about this that much, but basically during I'm very bad at economics, but from what I know, there's supply side economics and then there's Keynesian economics. And during a recession, I'm pretty sure what happens is people adhering to Keynesian economics would say that the government should put like jobs into the economy and add jobs so that'll boost the economy. Whereas supply side economics says that supply is constant, it's just that demand changes price.
Okay.
Yes. So Keynesian economics would say that during a recession, you should pump more jobs into the economy. So I guess the answer would be B.
B? Yeah.
I think, wait. Pieces and spending for.
Public.
Wait. Why would there be unemployment benefits? Wait, let's see. What individual and corporate income taxes? No. Looks like it's B. The public works project seems good, but.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the unemployment benefits.
It is B. 50 is B.
Okay. Okay.
Increases in spending for unemployment benefits. Oh, I see why. Because they need during a recession, you want to help the people, so the government puts money into the economy using spending.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Would be considered an unconstitutional system. Okay.
That's constitutional. That's constitutional. That's unconstitutional, I think. Because that's has to do with foreign.
Yeah.
And only Congress can control that, I think.
But can't D also wrong though? I think I would try D, but like
D?
Yeah.
D they can do. Why wouldn't they be able to do that?
Oh, okay. I don't know. Never mind.
Oh, okay. No, you might have a justification. I just no. To my knowledge, I know that there was an era of prohibition in U.S. history, but after that, it was. I don't think it was regulated after that. So, do you want to see? I think yes.
Okay.
I think we're almost done with multiple choice. 55. Then we can just quickly discuss the FRQs just to see if we have anything. 52. Appointments to the federal judiciary are often contentious. We've done this one, I think. Not A. I think it's B.
Yes, it's B.
It could be D, but D doesn't quite make sense. I think it's B. Because they have life terms. Judges are allowed to. Yes, B. Okay. Bureaucratic rulemaking is defined as they're not made by Congress, they're made by the bureaucracy. I think it's B, right?
Yeah. Directions given. It's not directions given by the president, right?
Yeah, no. I think it's B. Yeah, it's not D.
Yeah, I think
UN
it would
supervision,
be
no, it's B. Yep. Okay. 54. During the Civil War, President Lincoln suspended the right of. This is something that was very surprising to me. Was Lincoln during the Civil War? He suspended civil liberty. I mean, I know why he did it, but like, as a lawyer, I don't think he would have. Like, I wouldn't have thought that he would like suspend civil liberties. That's very weird to me. But anyways.
Public those rights tend to no longer. Okay, no, it's not A.
Oh, it's our favorite word.
Tension. I was about to say that.
C, yes. It's one of those questions that deal with those, tensions between principles of American democracy. Policy plan. Well, if commerce is dominated, then they wouldn't need an executive order. B makes sense.
C doesn't.
They're not. Supreme Court shouldn't be.
They're not making
policy.
laws. Yeah.
Yeah, shouldn't. I mean, sometimes they do, but
oh, we did this one too. Yeah, I remember it was B.
So B
makes no sense as well.
Is that it?
Whole
Yes.
AP test.
Yeah, we took a whole AP test. Exactly. How long? How long did it take?
It took us 1 hour.
Oh, so I mean, we would have had even more time to do this on the real day, and we did pretty well. I think we got 1 or 2 wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I don't think they have a. Yeah, I don't think they have explicit responses for the pre-response, but we can just try and go through them together. I think.
Wait, how many are there?
There's 4, I think. There's one that's an essay. We're not going to do the essay, but obviously because. But the other ones they're short FRQs, and these are probably the ones that she's going to give us. But okay. Consumers complained after EpiPen maker Mylan hiked the price of emergency auto injector by 100 in recent months for no obvious reason. The prices increased 450% since 2004, when dose costed $100 in today's dollars to its current price of more than $600. The medication itself isn't expensive. Analysts calculate that the dosage is only worth about $1. This is the state of our pharmaceutical industry. How sad. Very sad, honestly. Anyways.
Can use to address the comments outlined in this scenario.
They could use the Commerce Clause, I guess, and the Necessary and Proper Clause.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have an answer key for this. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just kind of have to think about it. But yeah, I think the Commerce Clause and Necessary and Proper Clause to legislate some sort of legislation for healthcare. In the context of the scenario, explain how the use of congressional power described in Part A can be affected by its interaction with the presidency.
It's like the president enforcing the law, like creating the law, then the president is the one obviously enforcing it. So
I think you can also bring in divided and unified government here if you wanted to, and talk about how if same party, more productive, different party, less productive. And yes, like you said, they can refuse to enforce it. Linkage institutions. So this is like the media and interest groups and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So they can shape public opinion, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. And it can influence how people think.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's simple enough. I don't think we need to do more. Okay. Public education spending, amount spent per pupil by state in 2014. As we expect, in the South, less spending, former states of the Confederacy. Now, the states that now traditionally vote Republican are spending less, whereas more of the Northeast, they're spending more. Okay. Most common level of education spending by states in the Southeast. 8,999.
Yeah.
Okay. Similarity or difference in public education spending by state or region. Draw a conclusion.
You could say the South and the Southeast has like less because they like traditionally in history have been more like, agrarian, less educated, things like that.
Agrarian. And we know that conservatives in general tend to support less state-sponsored education, more giving. Yeah. Yes. So, yeah. Explain how the public education spending on shown in the info show talks about federalism. Oh, reserved powers, right? And talk about how education is not, it's something that's controlled by the states, and thus we would expect variance because different states would want different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
Whoa. Okay. Oh, this is the Supreme Court comparison one.
Oh.
Monthly town board meetings in Greece, New York.
Wait, will it give us like a one that we haven't studied?
Yeah, it'll give you one that you haven't studied, and you have to compare it with one that you have studied.
Oh, okay.
Opened with a prayer given by clergy selected from the congregations listed in local directory. Nearly all the local churches were Christian, but nearly all the participating prayer givers were too. A lawsuit was filed alleging that the town violated the Constitution by preferring Christians over other religious groups and by sponsoring sectarian prayers. Petitioners sought to limit the town to inclusive and ecumenical, I do not know what that word means. Ecumenical? What does that mean? I think we could answer it without, but I'm just curious. So number of Christian churches, not just one denomination. Okay. Prayers that referred only to a generic God. Okay. In the ensuing case, Town of Greece versus Galloway, 2014, Supreme Court held in a 5-4 decision. They ruled that no constitutional violation existed, that they could do this. The opinion stated that legislative prayer in this situation lent gravity to public business, so the focus was on public business, reminded lawmakers to transcend petty differences to pursue a higher purpose, reflected values that were part of a nation's heritage, provided a spirit of cooperation, and celebrated the changing of seasons.
What in the world?
The audience was primarily lawmakers themselves, and though many bowed their heads during the prayer, they did not solicit similar gestures by the public. Okay, it was delivered as ceremonial portion. Okay. So the constitutional clause, it's the First Amendment and specifically the establishment.
Freedom of, yeah.
Yeah, you want to specify whether it's establishment or what's the other one?
Freedom of expression, right?
No, not there's establishment and then there's
exercise.
Yeah, free exercise.
Exercise?
Free exercise. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And this would be establishment because Wisconsin v. Yoder was free exercise. Engel v. Vitale was establishment clause.
Okay.
Because so that's the similarity.
Constitutional clause identified part A and all the facts.
I don't know. I guess because in Engel v. Vitale, that was kind of central to the socialization of the youth. I guess that's how I would justify that. Because you're dealing with children and you're introducing it to them early on. It's more like establishment clause, like it's clear establishment. Whereas here, the focus is on town business rather than,
Yeah, and because it's like it's trying to like limit its regulation, I guess then.
Yeah. I don't know how I would justify this. Yeah, this is a hard one. Describe an action that members of the public who disagree with the holding in Greece v. Galloway to take. Lobbying.
Protests,
lobbying.
Right to their.
So protest is what we immediately jump to, but on a legal standpoint, usually like when it comes to like textbook government, lobbying is usually the correct answer in I think questions like these because like it's like a more civilized version of protesting. But lobbying, as we know, usually never gets anything done because congressmen are in their little chambers of high exalted chambers and they don't care about what people think. Anyways, now that we got that out of the way, what else do we have?
Anyways,
and then the rest. Then the last part is the essay, which we're not going to talk. We can just look at it real quick, but we're not going to talk about it. You have to develop an argument.
Oh my gosh!
The three models.
So long ago.
Yeah, participatory has to do with lots of popular sovereignty. Everyone putting their time in. It's closest to direct democracy. Pluralist has to do with interest groups. Hyper pluralism you can throw in there has to do with lots of competition where no one gets anything done.
Yeah, because the government tries to appease everyone, all the groups. Elite is where just the elite people run the government.
Yep, and that's it. That's an entire AP U.S. government and politics exam.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to stop recording.
Okay.